Okay, well,
Y'all can hear me. I promise to talk loud. I don't need a microphone.
All right.
All right. How you doing, sir?
All right.
All right. Okay, what I'm passing out is like, I'm gonna take this and just pass it around, so make sure that each one gets one. This is an agenda of what we're gonna talk about today. Pretty much cover like, why are we here? How can we help you guys? What are your needs? And what is it that you're being told or not being told to get you the assistance that you need? So that is our main focus today, and that is why we're here. And we also have FEMA, who is here on board to kind of speak with you all and answer some of those questions that you're not getting answers to. So we want to make sure that you have all the information that you need, all the resources that you need, so that you can rebuild and get back to your everyday living. That's all you really want, right? All right, so I have a form attached to that agenda, and I'm gonna give you the purpose of that form. It is not for me, Lisa Williams, to take that form and give it to the government. That's not my use or primary use for that form or purpose for that form. The purpose of that form is for you guys to fill it out with your information, not only where you were living before it was destroyed, but where you are now, so that we can contact you and say, hey, Mr., hey, Miss, have they contacted you yet? They have not. Okay, so we need to get on the phone and we need to start calling and find out what's the status of your case. So that is why we're here. We want to assist you guys in every way possible that we can. We don't want to make any broken promises or anything like that we can't deliver on. But I can tell you this, we are here with you. We're on your side. We're trying to help get you the assistance so you can get back to your living standards. That's what we want. All right, so I got a few pens here. Okay. At this time, I'm going to turn it over to Dwayne, or D. We're with a Jeep group in Atlanta. We just love doing community service. We love reaching out, trying to help our people to make sure that they get what they need in their time of need and in their time of need for assistance and aid. So at this time, D, I want to turn it over to you so you can kind of talk to everybody about our mission, our goal, as to why we're here.
So, first of all, I don't know if the pastor is here or not, but I know when you normally walk in somebody's house, yes. When you walk in somebody's house, you want to acknowledge them and tell you thank you, first of all, for opening up your doors, and we really, really appreciate that. All the other ministers that might be in here, and deacons and deaconess as well. So, first of all, thank you for opening up your doors for it. We really appreciate it. Second of all, Lisa touched on a couple of things, but I think one of the biggest things we want to really look at when we step out into the community is help, right? Normally when something happens, everybody jump on when it's fresh. Right. You know, a lot of people like jumping on when it's fresh, but sometimes once that wound start healing a little bit, most people back off. So our main intention is to let you know we're gonna be here with you for as long as you need. All right. As long as you need us. So that's number one. Number two is making sure we get as much information from you so that we can take care of your individual needs. Like everybody ain't gonna need clothes and food. Some people just gonna need a phone call. That's right. So we wanna make sure we taking care of individual needs. We will be leaving some phone numbers just in case you need to contact us or you need somebody to talk with. And sometimes that's all we need. Sometimes it's just another ear, just to listen, just to listen. So, with all that being said, number one, what I want you to do is feel free to express your need. See, there ain't nothing wrong with needing something. Amen. I really want you to understand that. I know we grew up, when I was growing up, young men, they tell you, well, don't cry. All right. Don't cry, because you toughen up. Right. Now we a little older, and we know it's all right to cry a little bit. Amen. It's all right to cry a little bit. So what I want you guys to do is feel free to express your needs. Now, will we be able to take care of all of those needs? Probably not. Probably not. That's just being truthful.
Come on.
But if we can do something,
Yes, sir.
I
Yes,
promise
sir.
you, we will.
Yes, sir.
We will. So we're going to do our very best to take care of your needs. If it's a financial need, maybe we can do something.
All right.
If it's just some time, maybe we can do something. But everybody's need is going to be a little bit different based off of their circumstances.
Yes.
Based off of their circumstances. So we want to make sure you feel comfortable enough sharing that information. Sometimes I know it's hard to share stuff in public, right? Because you really don't like people to know how bad you really doing.
All right.
I'm going to share an analogy with you, and I want you to kind of get this analogy. Most people, when they first meet you, they say, well, tell me a little bit about yourself. So guess what we wind up doing?
Come on.
Do anybody know? See, we tell them all of the good.
Yes, that's it.
I go to church on Sunday. I'm a deacon on the deacon dashboard. You know, I won't never tell them the bad. Like, you know, I lie a little bit every night.
All right.
We don't really reach down in there and tell people some of the bad stuff we do. I drink occasionally.
Come on.
But we kind of keep some of that stuff to ourselves, but that's our character. That's who we are down on the inside. So what I really want you to do is be able to share something. Sometimes people like to hear what you're going through so you can be a little bit simple, empathetic, right? I want to be able to know, because I can't imagine what it would be like to have my entire house gone.
All right.
Yes, sir. All right. Yes, sir.
I can't imagine. And I don't know what it's like to be in a situation or a circumstance where everything I own is completely gone.
Come on, come on.
I'm at ground zero, really for the first time ever, because everything is gone. You know, we think we done went through some stuff till you really see, and you go through some things where you lose everything, and you don't know exactly where to start at. So our main intent is just to help you as much as we possibly can for as long as we can.
All right.
So at this particular time, I'm gonna bring one of my other Jeep friends up, Gary, and he'll share some more information with you. But I really, really would like for this to be an opportunity for the residents to kind of open up, share some of the stuff that you need, and if you can't share it out loud, when this is over, share it individually with myself or Elle, and we'll make sure we do our very best to kind of capture and help you out as much as we possibly can.
All right.
Are we gonna be able to get everything out today? Probably not. Probably not. But as much as we can possibly get out there, let's go ahead and get that information out there. And the quicker we can get it out, that'll give us a game plan for us to go back and sit down. And as a Jeep crew and as a Jeep community, we're gonna sit down and look at everything you're asking for and everything you need. And we wanna see where we can contribute the most at.
Okay.
We wanna see where we can contribute the most at. So we would rather under promise and over deliver.
All right.
So that is the intended goal. I don't want you to think that we're gonna just do something. We're gonna do everything in our power to actually help you out as much as we possibly can, okay? So at this time, I'm gonna bring Gary up and he'll go through some other stuff for us.
Okay.
How's it going, everybody? I'm Gary, as D said. Like he said, we're just a Jeep crew that's trying to bring more light to this situation down here. When we first came down here a couple of weeks ago, I said, man, this is nowhere, this is not loud enough at all. And then here it is, almost a month later, and as I was looking at the internet yesterday, I only see one update of a report of this situation. And that's just being shared abroad. And that's, so like Dee was saying, like, we're down here to shine more light on you guys' situation, bring as much help as we can bring down here to you guys. As Lisa was saying, she got, she met somebody or know somebody in FEMA. we bring the resources down here that we can. We're a group of almost 600 members and counting, and within those members we have all types of people, all walks of life that do. So we're just trying to open up our resources to you guys as much as we can. And like Dee was saying, please open your mouth. A closed mouth don't get fed. We know you guys don't need clothes and food right now, 'cause that's the most thing that everybody's gonna help out with. We know once Red Cross give you guys y'all immediate voucher, after that week is ran up, you're back to trying to figure out what it is that, where else we're gonna stay or who can we stay with. Because we know those vouchers do run out. Well, I know that, just being a part of, knowing people that has been in fires before, and the whole family and everybody has to be removed. So, like they were saying, like we're really, and I'm just gonna push it. And again, we can't say it enough. We really here for you guys to let us know where can we help you. Where can we help you at? We have. We're gonna help you guys out with any paperwork or forms that you need. You don't understand. We know this a tech-savvy world now. You don't understand how to fill out certain things on the internet. We're here. We're going to help you with that. When it comes down to the rebuilding process, which we know is going to take a while to do, because the first thing first is we got to make sure the insurance take care of us like they say they're going to take care of us, right? And then for the ones who don't have insurance, what do you do? You understand? So that's where we're trying to figure. That's why we're trying to let you guys know that we're here with all the resources that we have in our power and within our power to help you guys out. Speaking of that, with the insurance, we want to make sure that you guys know who you're supposed to be contacting when you're contacting your insurance company. Staying on their necks with you guys. Sometimes, you know, oh, that's Miss So-and-so, tell her I'll call her back. And then when the grandchild called and cuss them out, when the grandchild called and cuss them out, and then they say, okay, let's go fix little so-and-so. So we trying to make sure we help you guys out so we don't have to cuss nobody out, but we can talk to them proper enough to the point to where the squeaky wheel gets the oil. Y'all, did that make sense?
Yes.
So again, like we appreciate, Pastor, we appreciate you to open up your home, the house, the church to us, to be able to serve you guys. That's what it's always about, right? It's always about serving. It's about always extending our love to one another. That's what it's about, and that's what we're trying to show you guys, that we are men and women of our word. We came back like we said we would.
That's right.
And we're gonna be here, like Dee said, as long as you guys need us. So I will put my name down on the contact list for anything that you guys need. Like I know for sure that it was a couple of families. It was a couple of families that was a part of I coach football. My son, them, part of his team. A couple of family, friends, and stuff. Kids is out here. They have families lost everything, and we know that.
Yeah.
So that's what we're trying to extend our heart and helping hand to be able to help you guys as much as we can.
Amen.
Again, my name is Gary. I'm gonna open up the floor back to Lisa, to where we can be able to continue this mission on, continue the meeting on. That way we can move forward and get to you guys' need and what we need to do to help you guys. Thank you.
Okay, so like I said, and like Gary has said, and like Dee has also stated, you know, we're here for the long haul. We're here for the long haul because we know it's not, Rome wasn't built in overnight. So we know it's gonna take some time, but we still here. So if it's us making those phone calls, calling to see what's the status of your case, what's the status of this case number, and things of that nature, then that's what we are going to do. That is what we are going to do. A lot of times, like they say, the insurance companies don't want to talk. They do give you the runaround. They say, hold, let me transfer you over to a different department. Hold, let me transfer you again. And they continue doing that until the call drops. Then you got to go back to square one again, giving all your information all over again. And that becomes frustrating. It's very frustrating. It is frustrating for me even to do that for an order that I didn't receive. So I can only imagine what that's like when you no longer have your home stamp. So that being said, I really want to express to you the form that you have received to fill out your personal information will stay with the Jeep group. Okay? It is not to be shared for no different reason other than to contact you guys and say, hey, Mr. So-and-so, how are you? What's going on? Have you talked to anybody? Okay, now I'm gonna ruffle some feathers because you need to contact your city and your county officials.
All right.
You must blow the phone line up. I know how things get done in Atlanta.
All right.
It's time for them same things to get done in Griffin. You have to blow those numbers up. I don't care if you calling 10 times a day, you've done your part. Hey, y'all still ain't came out to Griffin yet. You have not come. I'm not saying FEMA is not here, because FEMA is here.
All right.
FEMA has been here. Red Cross has been here. But now it's time to get restored so that your homes can be rebuilt. Or, hey, we want to talk to you about selling your land. Well, I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this to you guys. If it were me in this position, I would not sell my land. I will not sell what I own, what I rightfully own. I wouldn't sell it. They're gonna offer you $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, but you tell me where you're gonna go for that amount of money and live for 6 months to a year. You're not. You would have to offer me $500,000. Okay? You would have to. And if they want it that bad, they'll pay for it. They'll pay for it. You sitting down here with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 12 acres of land. You do the math. You do the math. I'm telling you, if it was me, I can't speak for you guys because I don't know your situation yet. So that form allows us to talk to you, say, hey, how's it going? Okay, now let's talk business. What are they telling you? How far along are you in the process of restoring? Now, when it comes to being insured and not insured, homeowner or not a homeowner, that's going to play a major role in everything. We already know that. So those who do rent and are renting, I have to say to you, have you talked to your landlords? They own the property that you are renting. And if you are still required to pay full amount of rent every month, knowing it ain't even standing, something got to be talked about. Something has to be talked about, and you need some answers as to, okay, well, do you have another property for me to move into that is ready and livable, not inhabitable? So it needs to be livable, it needs to be up to code, and if it's available, yes, you should offer that to me to rent to you if you still want me to pay this rent to you. You shouldn't be paying for rent if you can't live in it. I shouldn't be paying for a car that I ain't got it no more. I don't have it anymore. Okay, so that's where the situation gets kind of sticky when you are insured versus not insured. Homeowners, you definitely need to be reaching out to your insurance companies. I'm talking about the State Farms, I'm talking about the Liberty Mutuals, the Allstates, and whomever you are insured through. You must reach out to them. But insured or not, you need to be talking to your city and county officials. They want your vote. They want your vote. So they need to get down here and do the work. I need to see you work now. Don't come to my community and talk to me about voting for you if I can't call you and tell you my situation and you can't get it resolved for me. Or have staff to tell me where to go to get it resolved. Okay? So I'm not here trying to preach no sermon. I'm just here being straight up with you, because if I was in the situation, this is exactly what I would be doing. All my friends, all my family in Atlanta, Fayetteville, wherever, Cobb County, call these city commissioners for me. Call them. Your nieces, your nephews, your grandkids, They need to be here fighting on your behalf so that you can get what you're supposed to have when it comes to the assistance and the aid for getting you back to your normal living standards, okay? So I don't want to say too much about that other than please fill out that form. Make sure I do not leave without that form, because I'm going to need to know where you are in the process to make sure that you get directed to the right people or persons so that they can help you.
All right.
At this time, I want to turn it over to FEMA team lead over this particular area and let her answer some of your questions you may have. This is an open forum. Please open your mouths. Please open your mouth. I don't know if you ain't told me.
All right.
So you got to tell me. You got to tell me. So, Michelle, I'm going to turn it over to you and your team. Okay?
Good afternoon. I had to check and see what time it is. I'm Michelle Rose. I'm the division supervisor over Spalding as well as 2 additional counties. So most of the time I'm here in Spalding, as Spalding was the hardest hit. And I have been to your house. Me and my supervisors came and talked to you and stood outside and talked to you for a long time, took some pictures and everything. Good to see you again, sir. Just to let you guys know, we at FEMA, we're here for you. We're here to assist. We have a 1-800 number that you can call to register for services if you have sustained any damages as a result of the disaster. There's also the website, disasterassistance.gov, that you can go to. There's also mobile apps on Apple and Google, all of that. But most importantly, we have a disaster recovery center set up at the Senior Center on Memorial Drive, where you guys can come by and you can apply for services. And you know, the people that are there will help get you registered and tell you what you're eligible for. That being said, one of the biggest problems that I've seen since I've been here in Spalding County is that a lot of people will receive a denial letter. It's very discouraging. However, what I want to encourage you to do, if you get a denial, don't say forget it. Don't wash your hands and say I'm done. Come up to the Disaster Recovery Center. You can call the number, but for me, I like the one-on-one.
All right. Amen.
I like the one-on-one. If people see your face, you know, they're more apt to give you a little bit additional help. So come up to the Senior Center if you get a letter of denial. It could be something as simple as, we don't have your insurance information. Well, if you say forget it, you just possibly gave up thousands of dollars that you could have gotten had you just asked those questions. So we're not expecting, it's government lingo. I've been in government 35 years. Trust me, I understand. So we're not expecting that you understand everything, but we do have staff here at the Disaster Recovery Center that you can sit in front of, and they can help you apply for those services. We had shelters. The shelters have shut down. Our assumption is everybody who needs that assistance has received it. However, whatever assistance you need, I strongly encourage you to go to the Disaster Recovery Center. I cannot stress that enough. Go to the Disaster Recovery Center and let them look at your case and let them explain to you what you're eligible for. You may be eligible for something that you did not even think about. That's their jobs. So with that being said, we have different programs within FEMA. I work outside of disasters. I work for the Public Assistance Program. However, the program that affects you guys the most is our Individual Assistance Program. I don't talk about what I don't know a whole lot about. So we have Individual Assistance team that's going to come up, and you can ask them any questions that you have. And let me add, before we do that, even if you are denied for FEMA services, at that same senior center, we have the SBA. They are there, believe it or not. I don't know that program, so I'm not going to speak on it. But you can get assistance as an individual from the Small Business Administrator. So I work closely with James here, and he can come up and he can give you some information about that. But first of all, I guess we're going to have individual assistants come up and ask, explain to you their program, and if you have any questions on me or them, we can address them at that time.
Amen.
Hello. My name is Amy. This is
Robert.
Robert. We are with FEMA's Disaster Survivor Assistance. So we kind of stay out in the neighborhoods, and we want to make sure that everybody gets registered for FEMA assistance. So as she did state, we do have different ways to register. You can register with us here today in person. You can register online. You can register over the phone and head down to the DRC if you need to. One of the biggest things that we also stress is we don't want to stop you from any type of cleanup. So feel free to go ahead and start your cleanup process or any repairs that you need to make to your home, but take pictures, document what you've done, keep your receipts, turn those all over to FEMA so that we can see what your losses and your damages were to see what we can assist you with. So that would be the biggest thing that I would advise. Also, even if you have insurance, even if you're a renter, whether you're the homeowner, everybody that had damages should register to see what they can get. Do you have anything? No? And yes, we will want to see your insurance paperwork if you have it, so that we can see what we can help you with above and beyond your insurance to see. Okay.
And let me add to this, let me add one thing. Let's make sure we're clear on this. Nobody should be charging anybody to register for FEMA services.
All right.
Let me say it again.
All right.
Nobody should be charging anybody to register for FEMA services. It is a federal government program. It is absolutely free. If you know of anyone who has been charged, tell them they need to report that. They need to be very clear. They need to report it. Nobody should. They don't need to have all your information. They don't. If they do not come and you don't see them with a badge, don't let them register you. Even if they got a computer, they can help you, but make sure that you're dealing with the right people who are authorized to have this information. So don't fall for that, because unfortunately in situations like that, we have people who take advantage of those who are going through bad times with the sole purpose of making it better for themselves, which makes it worse for you. So let's just be clear with that. Nobody should ever charge you to register for FEMA service.
And I think it's important that you understand today that we are trying to establish the trust level so that you guys know you can trust us. Government offices, I do work for a government office, but I'm not with FEMA. I'm going to tell you, I'm with CDC. But I used to work with Michelle years ago, and I didn't know who to call, where to call. I said, Michelle, do I call you? She said, well, just so happen that is my area that I'm assigned to. So I can bring a team. I can get people down there. I said, okay, good, because I don't feel that there's that level of trust here within the community to trust us to come here to take your information and to try to reach out and help to you, get help to you and for you. So I guess my question for you, Amy, is let's just say for the sake of this segment here, I don't have insurance. I don't know where to go. I have been charged to, or they've been said, they can do it, but they gotta charge me to fill out my forms for me and things of that nature, and I don't feel comfortable with that. So what's a person like me to do? I rent, and I don't have that insurance, nor do I have renter's insurance.
Absolutely, that's not a requirement for you to have insurance in order to register for FEMA. You just still come down, they'll ask you that question, you can say, I don't have insurance, and we'll see what we can do for you after that, if you do have somebody that's charging you, as she said, make sure that you're reporting that to us, like who it was that was charging for those services, because no accountants, no lawyers, no one should be charging you for that. You can register with us today for nothing.
Okay,
So,
good.
yeah,
And
absolutely.
also, let me add, I know I've heard in the past, especially during COVID, we had people who were afraid to give us afraid to register for FEMA because, yes, we are Homeland Security. However, we do not have any connection with ICE. We don't turn in your information with ICE. We're not gonna get you arrested. We don't do a background check on you. We're not doing any of that. FEMA is not affiliated with ICE. We don't get people deported. We don't any of those types of things. But I have heard that, so I want to be clear with you guys to let those know in your community. We don't care if you have a record. That's not our business. We don't care. So encourage you, don't let things like that stop you from coming in and getting the assistance to help you rebuild. No. Yes.
Can you speak a little bit more on being denied or receiving those denials? Can you speak a little bit more about those?
So the denial letter comes from, it is required, it may be requirement for you to turn in some documentation. If you fully read the letter, it would say, hey, we need your insurance settlement letter. Or they need a verification of your ID or your identity. It's much more than just a denial letter. You have to fully read the letter, and if you're not understanding the letter, like everybody's been saying, you can go to the DRC or call the number, the hotline number. But like she said, for me, I prefer that one-on-one connection so I can understand what needs to be submitted, what needs to be uploaded to the portal, so there's no chaos or errors to the application. So,
And I guess part 2 of that is I don't have a computer.
mhm,
I don't have internet.
mhm.
I only have my cell phone right now.
Okay.
So me having that, is there like a phone number that I can call to maybe check my status? Is there something like, am I going to be given a confirmation number to hold handy? So when
Yeah.
I do call, I can always reference that confirmation number or that case number?
Yes. So when you register, in person or over the phone, you will be given a registration ID number. That registration ID you need to protect with your life. It is very vital because the information that you're trying to get, the grants and stuff that you're trying to get, is attached to that registration ID. And if it falls in the wrong hands, then red flag starts to pop up. So you will be given a registration ID. Any government official like us, you can ask to verify the ID to make sure, we're valid, we're not, scammers or anything.
So we can ask you guys
Yes,
to
to
verify,
verify
you
the
verify my ID number. Okay,
Mhm.
I'll give you my name, you verify my ID number.
Yes.
Okay, okay.
Because we will ask you certain questions like your social, your name, and it should pop up in the system. Then you can ask us what is the registration ID number, just to verify. But yes, you will be given a registration ID that's unique to you only. Yes.
Okay.
What is the scope of help? I know we've mentioned like assistance several times. I know you just mentioned grants. What is the scope of help that FEMA can actually offer? Being in the area and seeing the different needs of people, what are they to expect to be helped with? I know everybody has different needs, but when we're sending like finances or things like that, I know a lot of people don't know where to apply those finances to get this area cleared, or what can you guys offer? What will you guys offer to make sure the residents get the help they need?
So like you said, cases are different. And it's just deferred, I can't really speak on that. But what I can say is that where you apply, we do have people going door to door daily. So people will be coming, knocking on your door, probably starting at 9 o'clock in the morning. I know some of y'all not up around that time in the morning, but God bless you. We'll leave a flyer in your door that has the website, the number, and even the location as to where you can go to register. Far as the grants, it's mainly towards, so how the grants are determined. Once you apply, you get all the stuff submitted, an inspector will come out. They will determine, is your house is livable and habitable, or you just flat out can't live in it. Then all of that stuff, people behind closed doors, they determine the eligibility status. Now, if you given something, if they giving you that it's not gonna cover a lot of the stuff, you can do a appeal process. You can go to the DRC, ask them how can, inquire about a appeal process. They will give you the layout of what we need, the documentation that we need, and you can submit that in before the deadline.
As far as individual assistance, we are looking to make sure that you're home, you have a vehicle, like that's still working at the house, and any of your personal property. So that's what individual assistance is covering. So when you register with FEMA, those are the things that we are looking to see if we can help you with.
And let me add to that, FEMA is not, we don't insure you, so FEMA does not make you whole. So we never wanna give that false expectation that FEMA's gonna come in, they're gonna give me $100,000 and I'm gonna fix, no, that's not, the max is what, 41? I believe it's $41,000 if you qualify for everything for FEMA. So I don't wanna give anybody any false hope. We are not an insurance policy, we do not make you whole after the disaster. Yes, please.
I got a couple of questions here. So, my home is destroyed, and I know that you go knocking on doors. So that's one thing. But then, is it that this particular department of FEMA, is it that you guys will come to where I'm currently living or temporarily housed to talk to us? And if so, do you all have that information as to where I live right now or where I'm currently living?
So, that's, our job is to kind of walk around the neighborhoods and also to go to churches, we go to businesses.
Okay.
We try to put our flyers everywhere in the community we can and get the word out so that, that way, because we know we're not gonna find people,
Right.
some people at home. So that is why we try to get out here and show our face at some of these events, so that you guys
Okay.
know that you can register with us. And then we hope that the churches will spread the information through email chains or, you know, tell a friend or something like that, so that they will know.
So, is it that both systems?
When-
Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Okay, when you were saying about that, now, that's where she was saying about the registration process.
Okay,
When we go in on the registration, we sit one-on-one with you, we ask you where your damaged dwelling is, right? That's where your damaged dwelling is. But also, they have the opportunity, once you can go back in, if you move and you're not there, because the home might not be there. That's your opportunity to let them know where you're staying with your family and your friends.
okay.
All right? So there's a way for us to find out where you
Okay.
are. All right.
Now, let me just say this, and you got probably, we have stopped the door to door. We are basically on a limited presence, which means we have what we call strike teams that do the same thing as the ones who open door to door, but, we have completed the door-to-door in Spalding County, and myself and the emergency manager sat down last night, and we agreed upon that, so we're not doing the door-to-door anymore. However, if you have events like this at any of the churches and things of that nature, people can let me know, and I'll definitely make sure that we get a team out to assist, but we have ceased the door-to-door. That being said, if any of you have neighborhoods that you think were not covered, we need to know that as well, because once again, we would definitely get a strike team out there to make sure that we get people registered.
So, yeah, I was gonna say, I wanna let a lot of the community
let them.
residents to start asking questions. I just kinda wanted to warm it up a little bit, so everybody can ask your questions,
My question is, my house was destroyed. It's gone. And I applied for FEMA because I rent for my mom. I stay with my mom. The thing is, I had to go back and apply for her. And they said that they had to come back out there and inspect the house. So why you had to inspect it twice, and then if they already inspected one time? Because they inspected in my name, but they had to go back and inspect it in her name. But she just got out of the hospital, so that's when I did her application. So they had to come back in and inspect it twice. So that's what the holdup is right with her, because they haven't came out there and inspected.
Okay, well, I mean, with every application process, once you register, an inspector will be assigned to you. So that's just off the rip. However, with this being it was a rapid deployment. So they are still trying to get inspectors here. You know, as you may know that we are all coming from different parts of the country. And we're just trying to work with what we have right now. Some of the inspectors are in different counties, coming from maybe McDonough, then driving all the way here to inspect and whatnot. So it's going to be a waiting process. You know, they like to say maybe 7 to 10 business days, but I say the inspector will call your phone, whatever number that you put on your registration ID. They will call you. It'll be a number that you do not recognize.
That's correct.
So I will say, for whatever reason, you know, you get an unknown number pop up on your phone, answer it.
But they still shouldn't have to, let me get your, because they still, if it's the same address, they still shouldn't have to.
But I want to put me as a co-applicant on the application with her. But they said they might have thrown it out because I already did FEMA and with her too. But she might not understand the questions that they're giving her. So I want to be there beside her to ask the question for her. But they never put me on the application as a co-applicant.
Okay, so with that, you can be a co-applicant.
Yeah.
What would you do? You would call the hotline, but you're gonna have to have that power of attorney. You're gonna have to have or sign a consent form saying that you will.
But can she just say it?
You have to put since you got already started 2 applications, correct? So the fact is gonna have to be conjoined now. So they're gonna have that permission for you to speak on her behalf. They got to have that documentation, and you put it into the portal. Then you will be able to take over to speak for her.
But it'd probably be better if you go to the DRC.
Yes, it's easier.
Yeah, I've been out there
I
one
would
time,
not-
but I went to meet,
Way
but she just
easier.
got out of hospital. I just wanna, just to take her down there right now.
Right,
But,
yeah, we're
eventually
here.
I will, but I did call, and they said it is good somebody out there, but it's been over 17 business days, but I just wait, you know.
Right, and let me just say, the DRC, because I don't think I said this, right now, we're open 7 days a week from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. This will be the last Sunday, and then we'll start shutting down on Sundays. The longer duration we don't have yet, so we don't know, how long we're gonna be here, probably till March or so. But we are doing the 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. I'm sorry, I did not give those times.
The same issue with my mother, she has a power of attorney over my grandmother. She filled out, uploaded the papers, and they claimed that they only called one time, but the man put on there that he called her 3 or 4 times, but didn't. And she still haven't had an inspector come out to check the house or heard anything back from him. But she's uploaded her power of attorney papers on there, and we still haven't heard anything. And it's been over the 7 to 10 business days.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I can get your information and we could check on it, but yeah, I'm not really sure why.
Okay.
We'll have to look at the individual cases.
Yeah,
to
and
see
a lot of
what's
that is gonna be
happening. Like, I'll have to
individual.
pull it up and look
Yeah.
at it. I can't just.
So
Right.
it's a good idea for me to get the name of the person I spoke to?
Oh, definitely.
Okay.
Definitely.
Okay,
Is there the form that signs over the permission and the power of attorney? Is there a one-stop shop at the DRC? Can they
Yes.
get that information as well to make that happen?
Everything is there.
Everything can be done at that DRC.
Even SBA.
okay, I was gonna ask if it's an issue.
Last question, so how many is allowed to apply for FEMA in one residence?
Well,
And
it depends on how
two-
many
two-
is on the lease. Who's on the lease? Because you got,
If they have
everybody
separate
has
leases,
personal, everybody
they
has
can all-
personal
each one
property.
can apply. If they have, if you have a house and you have separate rooms,
Mm-hmm.
and each person signed their own lease, I'm renting bedroom A, I'm renting bedroom B, and each of those people can register with FEMA as a renter, if it's done separately. like
And
that.
it definitely has to be, when you register, that has to be that A and that B and that C or that D, otherwise y'all get kicked out.
Yeah. And on that note, also, if you have, if you're renting and you have the owner of the home that files for that residence as their primary residence, that's gonna cause a problem.
Oh, yeah.
Because then when you come and register, now we have 2 people. And it gets flagged as a fraud because 2 people are saying this is a primary residence and did not submit to various leases. So then you kind of get stuck and then it's really out of our hands. Because once it hits fraud, it's there, and it's just like with the IRS. If you claim a child and somebody else claim a child, now you kind of just stuck, and that's kind of the same situation. So we like to be very clear about that.
But just to be clear, if you're a renter and you rent a place that got damaged, the home got damaged, but you as a renter lost a lot of personal property, you both have a right to register with FEMA. You as a renter and your personal property, that homeowner can register with FEMA to take care of the property, the structure.
However, I will say, talk to your landlords or your whoever is on renting it out to you guys. Talk to them first before registering to make sure that they haven't registered, so we don't have to go in that red flag zone and try to figure out a lot of things and how can we get a resolution to it. So you can, if you are planning to register, I would say talk to your landlord, let him know you're going to register for your personal property, and there's a lot of things that needs to be done with the address, such as, like she said, if you own 101 Kings Lane, 101 Kings Lane A, 101 King Lane B. So just stressing that.
I just want to clarify I'm from Sparta, Georgia. It's the country. A lot of our paperwork there isn't as, a lot of our rental stuff is verbal agreements. So I wanna make sure for the people here, if they have those type of relationships, y'all aren't real estate agents. So, but is there anybody there that will help them go through the process of formulating what their lease should look like or what it should say? Because a lot of the leases in renter A and renter B, that's not what exists. So is there someone that would walk through with them how to get that so that they could get that assistance?
We cannot, because that's giving legal advice.
Okay.
So FEMA cannot give that type of advice, unfortunately. Yes.
But I think we do have a legal resources
Yeah.
site that, or a phone number that we can refer you to, and they can walk you through any landlord-renter issues as far as disaster things are concerned. So we do have that resource to provide so that people can,
And just to piggyback off what he was saying, so if I'm staying there out of verbal agreement and I'm telling you guys I'm a renter, then do I have to show a lease? Do I have to put in the system, I have a lease or could I just be like, I'm renting there, but we really don't have a lease?
well, they are going to ask you for, documentation. When the inspector comes out to the home, they're going to be asking for documentation, a lease agreement, home ownership papers, a utility bill, things like that, so that they can verify that you live there and that that is a property that you can legally put in the system to claim.
So since I'm getting mail there, so will my mail be, will that be more efficient, would that be okay? If I'm getting a bill there, you know, like the light bill?
Electric bill.
Electric bill
Right.
will be okay. Power bill.
I wanna follow up with that as well, and I'm sorry if I put a little pressure on y'all, I just wanna
No,
know
you're
what,
fine.
trying to figure out what we can provide. As far as the information with everything being destroyed and all of, that's a lot of paperwork. A lot of, like the smaller towns, a lot of that paperwork and stuff gets destroyed and it's gone. We don't have a lot of stuff that's documented. Are these leases something that could be written up on site or like in this time? Are those agreements those agreements can be
So
signed?
if you talk to your landlord or whomever is over, like the owner of the house that's renting to you, if you have him email or write up for something to give to us, then yes, they should be able to take that, yes.
Or if they have a copy of it that they could provide to you, because I'm assuming as the renter and the owner, both people will have a copy, so if they can get a copy,
Definitely.
that would be the best thing.
Okay.